Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the new Blood Angels Combat Patrol. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. The new Blood Angels Combat Patrol is so vicious, even your Sanguinary Guard end up bright red. Alright, so before we jump into this article, I want to say there's two main themes that we've seen recently with Combat Patrol. Actually three. One, there's a lot less value in them. Two, Games Workshop has been taking out the actual chapter specific kits, in particular in the Space Marine combat patrols. And three, they've been taking out the big centerpiece models, vehicles, stuff like that. So taking out the value is obviously because Games Workshop doesn't want to offer a massive discount on kits that are always available. They'd rather make that a special thing or have you paying as close to full price as possible. Two, they've been taking out the big, really tough stuff like the vehicles. And I think they do that more for balance. And then three, they've been taking out the specialized chapter units from the Space Marine ones, so that people can buy them and then play any chapter they want if they like the majority of the kits. And typically it's just the upgrade sprues that you wouldn't be able to use. So overall, I do not like these themes. I think they're terrible. And finally, we're seeing them back off this a little bit. So let's take a look at the new Blood Angels. The wrathful sons of Sanguinius are soaring into action with a brand new codex supplement and a frothing mad army set packed with furious Death Company Marines. Like their fellow books, Codex Supplement Blood Angels features rules for a brand new combat patrol. And you won't have long to wait before welcoming the Sanguinary Spearhead into your Carmine host. Alright, so we see the brand new Combat Patrol here, and I gotta say it looks pretty good. The Sanguinary Spearhead contains 17 miniatures to form an extremely aggressive force designed to quickly close the gap and tear through any opponents that foolishly stand in opposition to the Blood Angels. Leading the charge is the Blood Angels Captain, wearing finely wrought artificer armor with uniquely chiseled musculature, who is happiest when ensconced firmly with a unit of 10 Assault Intercessors. Their thirst for vengeance sends them charging across the battlefield to savage their enemies with chainswords, but they'll have their work cut out for them, keeping up with 2 units of 3 Sanguinary Guard. Alright, so really nice box right here. We have the brand new Captain model, which is awesome. I love the sculpted armor. The pose looks cool. 10 Assault Intercessors, always nice in gameplay. And then we see 2 units of 3 Sanguinary Guard. So this is awesome. It is really nice because we have 3 units that are brand new, first time being offered, and they're coming in this box set. The 2 Sanguinary Guard squads, and then also the Captain. And one of the biggest complaints that I heard from the Dark Angels box was the lack of inclusion of the new models or the chapter specific kits. So while the Blade Guard that it includes are super cool and definitely good in game terms, a lot of people would rather have had the Inner Circle Companions, the brand new Dark Angel specific kit included in that box. And honestly, I totally get it. So I don't know if Games Workshop heard this pushback and decided to change what they're doing in the future. I don't know if they're just trying something new or if this just worked out better. But I gotta say, this is great. It goes along really nicely also with the actual launch box. While the launch box already includes 10 of the Assault Intercessors, it has no Sanguinary Guard and doesn't include a Captain. And realistically, with the ability to make the new Assault Intercessors into Death Company also, that gives you extra ability to either use Death Company in this box, Death Company in the other box, both or neither. And one of the best things Games Workshop can do with these battle forces or launch boxes and then the combat patrol coming out right alongside them is to make it a legitimately viable army without too much redundancy. And I think they nailed it in this case. This is a great box, goes right alongside the launch box. And while 20 Assault Intercessors might be too much for somebody, 10 Death Company with jump packs, 10 Death Company on foot, and 10 Assault Intercessors is completely viable for a legit army. So very cool, definitely like this box. These golden bolts from the blue crash into combat on roaring jump packs, and carmine blades swinging as they effortlessly cut down even the sternest adversaries. 2 Blood Angels upgrade frames also give you the chance to accessorize your miniatures by adding sculpted shoulder pads, chapter iconography, and that unmistakable Blood Angels hallmark, luscious blonde locks to your Assault Intercessors. Okay, so that's even better. So if we assume that the Sanguinary Guard are going to be $60 for 3, it's $62.50 for the Assault Intercessors on foot. That's $182.50. Throw in a Captain for around $35. We're at $217, and then slap in 2 of the upgrade frames for $70. That's $287.50 in value in this box set. Much more in line with what we used to see in the combat patrols. So while a lot of the combat patrols Games Workshop has been putting out recently have been closer to $240 in value and not nearly as good a deal, especially after the price increase, this one is much more in line with what we used to see back in the day, 33 to 40% discount. And that's what the combat patrols should be. It should be a nice starting army, a good discount, and a viable beginning force, balanced against each other in small games. And I think Games Workshop nailed it with this one. especially when compared to something like the Space Marine Combat Patrol, where you can essentially buy the individual minis, get the full pose sculpt characters instead of just the easy to build ones included in the box set. And that Space Marine box set has almost no value over MSRP of buying the individual full kits versus just picking up the Combat Patrol. So the complete other end of the spectrum of something like this. As you might expect from a combat patrol entirely equipped with close combat, the Sanguinary Spearhead is packed with rules that let you surge across the battlefield. The Blood Angels are Space Marines at the core and so share the same Oath of Moment army rule the previous combat patrol had, but hone their close combat prowess with new enhancements, secondary objectives, and stratagems to pick from. Alright, so I got a little gripe with this comment right here. You know who else are Space Marines but don't have Oath of Moment? Deathwatch. But that's a sensitive subject for me since Deathwatch just lost Oath of Moment and for no apparent reason, but that's for another video. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now back to the video. The Red Thirst is a close companion of the Blood Angels army since the days of Warhammer Yore, and it returns here to give your captain and his poor earthbound berserkers some extra pep in their step when bullets start flying their way. Better yet, the natural durability of the Space Marines means you won't even take too many casualties as you approach. So optional enhancement, Red Thirst. In your opponent's shooting phase, each time an enemy unit has shot, if the bear's unit is hit by one or more of those attacks, it can make a Red Thirst move. If it does, the bear's unit can move up to 6 inches, but must finish that move as close as possible to the closest enemy unit. When doing so, those models can be moved within engagement range of that enemy unit. A unit cannot make a Red Thirst move while it is battle shocked or within engagement range of one or more enemy units, and can only make one Red Thirst move per phase. Alright, so very good. We see this like similar to what the Khorne Berserkers have. In this case, it's not a random D6 though, it's a flat 6, which is nice. But only ever one Red Thirst move per turn. If 2 wounds and a 3+ save isn't enough to keep Bale's Chosen in one piece, you can always fire off the Refuse to Bend stratagem and trust their legendary determination instead. It's especially good in early stages of the game when you need to get close to your opponent, as any unit outside of an all-important 12-inch range gets double the benefit, increasing their Feel No Pain roll to a 5+. Refuse to Bend, Sanguinary Spearhead, Battle Tactics Stratagem, 1 command point. When your opponent's shooting phase or fight phase just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. Target 1 Adeptus Astartes unit from your army that was selected as a target of one or more attacking units' attacks. Effect until the end of the phase. Each time an attack targets your unit, models in your unit have a Feel No Pain 6+ ability against that attack. If the attacking model is not within 12 inches of your unit, models in your unit have a Feel No Pain 5+ against the attack instead. So very good. If they're close or in combat, it's a 6+ Feel No Pain. If they're more than 12 inches away, it's a 5+ Feel No Pain, which coupled with power armor and multiple wounds is definitely really nice, especially with how many things have 2 damage in the game. Just passing 1 Feel No Pain 5+ means that the second attack that might kill a second Marine flat out just kills the wounded one instead. So very, very good. This combat patrol is sure to put the fear of the Emperor into its opponents, but watch out for any telltale signs of the Black Rage. We'd hate to have such shiny warriors sent into Lamarty's care. So very, very cool. Obviously, some of the trends Games Workshop has been doing with the combat patrols have been less than ideal. And in this case, we see a lot more value in the box set, even if a lot of that value is coming from the upgrade frames. We also see the introduction of not only brand new miniatures that are coming to the range in the Sanguinary Guard and Captain, but also the chapter specific miniatures, the stuff that people really want, being added in as well. So I don't know if Games Workshop is actually listening to our feedback or if they're just making the changes that we want on their own. But regardless, they're definitely positive changes. This is a very thematic combat patrol. It includes a bunch of nice miniatures, lots of bodies, brand new sculpts. I'm really happy with this, and it goes along perfectly with the new launch box. I'm definitely going to be picking up this bad boy. So let me know what you think of the new combat patrol, what you think of the changes. Are you going to be picking this one up? Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man. And the Death Watch may be done, but the Blood Angels are looking better than ever. With the exception of a couple minor changes to the Sanguinary Guard and a couple other things. And I'm out of here.